I'm so sorry. There's been an ambush. Your husband...
No. How can that be? He wasn't alone. There were enough people.
Scars ambushed the party. Help did arrive, but it was too late.
No.
I'm very sorry. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know.
It's contiguous, says Anthem lead producer Mike Gamble. Once you're in the open world of Anthem, you just run around the open world, there's no loads, everything's contiguous. You have access to the whole thing. So yeah, this seamless open world promise, it didn't happen at all. But as you guys could tell by the footage that I presented at the beginning, Anthem, it has some pretty big issues, especially the sheer amount of loading screens, but these issues I imagine and hope will be solved once the day one patch arrives, although after the demo, I thought most of these technical problems would be solved, but they have not. So it's a wait and see. Now there are other problems like some of the bad voice acting and facial animations of random NPCs in Fort Tarsis that I don't believe we'll see improved much. But for the last few days I have been playing 3 games, Metro Exodus, which I rolled credits on a few days ago. Even despite the whole Epic Game Store mess, this was one of my most anticipated games since it was announced, and I really did enjoy this experience. Although, man do I hate the mutated spiders, which if you do eventually play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now other than Metro Exodus, I have been playing Anthem and Far Cry New Dawn. We'll discuss Far Cry New Dawn a little later in this video, but for now, I want to concentrate on Anthem, a game that I feel will be very divisive. So far that actually does seem to be the reception the game has been receiving, with some loving it and others hating it. And for myself, I feel like I'm caught in the middle. As much as I crap on Electronic Arts and even have been very skeptical about the future of BioWare since the mess that was Mass Effect Andromeda, there is parts of Anthem that really feel amazing. Particularly just flying around in a javelin, feeling like Iron Man is one of the coolest parts of the game, as well as the gunplay and overall combat, which in my opinion feels satisfying when taking out hordes of enemies. Customization is additionally another area that I really enjoy, from changing the appearance of your javelin to changing your loadout with new weapons and abilities that you can gain by completing missions, contracts, or by just exploring the world and taking out various types of enemies. Now, also the opening of the game or the tutorial level and some of the first few story missions are really enjoyable. I found some of the cutscenes and backstory really engaging, but after a while, I found the story to be very meh. And looking at the long history of BioWare, I don't feel Anthem is up to their standards. The issue I have with the story is the quality of some of the later content I've engaged with, and additionally the amount of filler content mixed in there, and something that a lot of pundits have been talking about recently is the annoying Legionnaires mission, which is basically blocked by a grind wall that forces you to explore and complete various tasks throughout the open world that, quite frankly, is boring. There's just a lot of repetitiveness throughout Anthem. Go there, shoot that is really how many of these missions and world events operate, which is disappointing. Now let's discuss Fort Tarsis.
Hey.
Which, that's actually what this single-player side of Anthem sounds like at all times. Complete silence, you could hear a pin drop. This is the part of Anthem where the story is really told, and it's also where you'll find various missions that you can take on, as well as interacting with characters that are spread throughout this Fort Tarsis. Now the issue with Fort Tarsis is it's just not fun being there. It's quite frankly depressing, and I don't understand what BioWare was thinking. As I showed before in the E3 trailer from a few years back, Fort Tarsis looked like an interesting location, but now, come launch, it's just kinda pathetic. I will also note something that I showed earlier in which an NPC was talking to another NPC, and it seemed like a very emotional conversation that was ruined by the horrendous facial animations, the lack of overall animation of the characters, and the pretty terrible voice acting that feels like little effort was made by BioWare to make Fort Tarsis an enjoyable location that players want to return to. So something else that I do want to make mention of is the microtransactions, something I was concerned about before launch, mainly because of the leaked image and BioWare's unwillingness to share what it would be like. The issue I personally had was that something similar happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2 before launch, in which the developers, DICE, after that game's beta, tried reassuring fans that everything would be fine come launch day, and obviously we all know what eventually ended up happening come launch day. Now thankfully so far with Anthem, the actual prices are pretty fair for the cosmetics that are available, as what was believed before, the prices for the premium currency shards are close to $1 equals 100 shards. And one of the more expensive cosmetics, the Epic Guardian Armor Pack, has a cost of about $8 to $9, which I know some people still may be unhappy by these prices, but I think they are just fine. Much better than the $20 price tag that was shown in the leaked image, and what Bethesda is currently charging Fallout 76 players for that game's Power Armor skin cosmetics. Besides the premium currency, there's also the possibility to earn enough coins to get something like the Guardian Armor Pack, but it does seem to be a bit of a grind. I'll have to wait until I see some actual data, but from my hours playing, it felt like I was not gaining many coins at all for the missions or contracts that I was taking on, and being that I believe I started the game with already 40,000 coins, and the cost of the Guardian Armor Pack is 61,000 coins, as well as other cosmetics like Banshee Armor just for my Javelin's legs costing 14,000 coins, that could mean a ton of grinding. Now a few remaining notes that I have on the game's microtransactions is I found it a bit strange how Electronic Arts and BioWare incorporated a mission to unlock crafting in the premium vanity shop. Also the NPC Prospero promoting the shop really put an emphasis on, gaining a sense of pride and accomplishment by improving the look of your Javelin.
You understand being a freelance is more than just a job. It's about pride. Pride in doing something well. Pride in your Javelin.
Hasn't been much of that lately.
Intolerable. Who wants to charge into a fight looking plain and simple? What kind of statement does that make? Not when you could fly in looking like steel thunder come to life. A fistful of lightning in one hand and a hailstorm of pain in the other.
That's colorful.
Is what I do. When Lancers want to make a statement, they buy something special for their Javelin. Maybe custom decals or bodywork. I'm the guy they come to.
Anyway, just something that I found a little strange, but the one part of the microtransactions of Anthem that is still unknown is how BioWare may introduce future Javelins. Previously, back in June 2018, executive producer Mark Dara took to Twitter and he made it seem like new Javelins could be paid DLC, which has raised concerns, so I definitely will be interested to see how BioWare handles post-launch support for Anthem. But the one aspect I have not talked much of is the technical problems. As I mentioned earlier, a big day one patch is coming, which is good news because the loading screen, server disconnects, lost progress, and other various bugs really have hurt this experience for me. Like in one glitch, I came out of a cutscene and just got stuck and missed out on the rest of this mission because I was forced into closing the game and relaunching it. I've seen other people like Kotaku's Jason Schreier and Angry Joe talk about the ridiculous loading screens, sometimes stretching to over 5 minutes. Then Skill Up talked about how the final mission bugged out for him, which, as I've said in the past, BioWare needed more time and should not have rushed this game to release. Despite what Respawn Entertainment has said about the launch of Apex Legends, the timing of it, I do kind of wonder if it was purposeful to launch it ahead of Anthem just because there was concerns that Anthem would not deliver. That's some major speculation, but something I'm throwing out there. Now for right now, I truly fear what Electronic Arts' reaction will be to a rough start for Anthem, which I believe is coming. So far the early reviews are not very hot, and even my own feeling is that this game is just very meh. Which honestly I felt that way about Destiny 2 at launch, and eventually Bungie turned things around later with Forsaken. So maybe BioWare does the same, but for right now I have to judge it for what it is, and I just don't believe this is a $60 purchase at all. BioWare needed a big win with Anthem, and I just don't see it right now, which is a shame. Maybe this game improves with time, but after numerous hours playing Anthem, I just have no drive to continue. I'm extremely bored.
You'll get my token and my eternal gratitude.
Aren't you supposed to ask if I'll buy the trial token from you?
You want to pay to win? That's, aren't you a warrior? Where's your honor? Where's your sense of pride and accomplishment?
I swear I never realized Ubisoft made a joke about Electronic Arts' greed, which, being what I'm about to discuss, I find that just a little ironic. So yes, for the second part, which will likely be much shorter, I wanted to briefly discuss Far Cry New Dawn, which essentially is Ubisoft's way to milk Far Cry 5 one more time. New Dawn really is a strange post-apocalyptic game, because it doesn't really feel like a post-apocalyptic game, but the best way to describe New Dawn is to ask a few simple questions. Did you enjoy Far Cry 5, and did you want more of that? Because that's just what New Dawn is. I personally really enjoyed most of the gameplay of Far Cry 5, particularly just sniping random enemies, using a helicopter to wreak mayhem, and hunting, but besides that, I didn't find the story, characters, or any of the locations very interesting. Also, the ending just annoyed me because I'm sorry to say, but Ubisoft with every game since Far Cry 3 has been trying to copy Voss, with another weird and crazy antagonist with a slight twist. But yeah, Far Cry New Dawn is just Far Cry 5 again with a paint job, and so far the reception within reviews and the lack of sales seems to showcase how mixed people feel about this. Now, the one aspect that has been driving me nuts with Ubisoft is how much they are pushing monetization into single-player games. With New Dawn, it just continues to get worse. Within this game, a big part of this experience is upgrading the various parts of the home base of Prosperity, which relies on you gaining different types of material by exploration or completing missions to upgrade the types of weapons and vehicles and other things that you can unlock, or you can just, open up your wallet. What Ubisoft has done is doubled down on microtransactions, something that is a huge part of their business nowadays, making them billions. Do you want one of the game's best weapons from the start? Just cough up a few dollars. Want one of the best vehicles from the start? Cough up a few dollars. Want to have hundreds of resources so you don't really need to grind at all? Cough up a few dollars for a non-randomized loot box. Want to unlock all the skills of the game from the start? Cough up a few dollars. Sure, you can earn everything in game by simply playing, but I have to say I find it frustrating that most of the top tier weapons can be unlocked through the premium currency from the start. Like I've been saying, microtransactions are the future of gaming, and this is just an example of how it could continue to get worse. It also makes me wonder, did Ubisoft only introduce these various resources and the RPG elements so they could further monetize off of it? Anyway, I personally am left disappointed by two of the games that released last week, but I will say Metro Exodus is a really good game, and I definitely recommend that. But yeah, as usual, these are just my opinions, and I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. If my voice sounds a little bit scratchy, it's because I'm a little sick right now. I apologize about that. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. As usual, links are always in the description down below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news and some reviews that I don't always get into video form, so make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of conversation on games, and again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.